Are we rolling? I think we're rolling. What's up, everybody? So today I'm in a hotel, and this video is gonna be very raw. There's not gonna be too many cuts because honestly, I'm gonna just edit this on my phone. But today's topic, I want to talk about a comment that I received on my channel. I don't know if I can pop it up right here, but it was on one of my videos, my just start creating video, and it's this person talking about I don't live an exciting life. How can I create content around that? And so that's going to be the main topic. And I'm about to head out to go have some lunch with friends. So it's kind of like a get ready with me while I talk about this topic. Right now I'm in San Jose. Hold on. It's interesting out here. Right now we're in San Jose. I'm here for a wedding. Really excited for that. Honestly, just enjoying the sun out here. It's not that much warmer than Seattle, but it's still nicer because right now it's pretty cold in Seattle. But so back to that topic of, how do I create content when my life isn't necessarily super interesting? I don't think you need to live a crazy exciting life to make your life appear interesting. I think for content or to be able to tell those stories. I think there are certainly times when I have a very average, like just boring day. I'm just going to work and then I come home and I'm gaming and that's just my day and there's nothing like super crazy about it. I didn't skydive, I didn't hit a record on something. It's just a very plain day. But I think the opportunity there for storytellers is being able to take a moment as simple as going for a walk, as simple as going on a hike, as simple as going to work, and taking those moments, magnifying it, and finding opportunities to bring the viewer, to bring your audience with you on that journey. I made a day in the life video. I made a video of my Sunday reset. And if you were to just break it down, if you've not seen the video, if I'm just to break it down, all I did was wake up, make coffee, go to brunch, play video games, and I think that's pretty much it. But if you go back and watch the video, obviously, you know, I edited it in a way to make it a little bit more interesting, right? Adding music, adding effects, and trying different angles. So I think I don't think you necessarily need to have a crazy story um, to make your life seem interesting for content. Like, here's the thing. I I really dislike living for the content or like do it for the vine. I really dislike that mentality because the whole point of documenting and sharing content with you, at least my purpose, is to share what I'm already gonna be doing whether or not I have the camera. Bringing the camera is just to give you an insight and to show you what I am doing. But if I have to artificially do something else, maybe a little bit extra, like sometimes we do. Sometimes I need to do like a retake or whatnot, and I do that. But if I have to like be extra excited for a moment or just super dramatic, I feel like that's a little disingenuous, and that's not the point of my content. Um, but there are people that do, you know, drum it up a little bit more. And so maybe when you're watching this content, you're like, wow, look how excited they are about this thing. Look how just amazing it. Just know maybe it's not always like what you see is not always like how you're perceiving it or what it is in real life. I think really good storytellers are able to turn a boring moment or a boring, just a boring moment and make it into something really cool. Uh, on TikTok especially, you see content about like the most boring things ever. I'm trying to think of one that I seen recently, but like it's it's not about living a crazy life. it's about it's about being able to tell a story. It's about being able to bring the person with you through the moments. Look at any movie. If you just look at the movie for the rough concepts, um, like I'm trying to think of a movie. What's a good movie these days? Um, I mean, Super Mario, that movie, the Mario movie. The concept is simple. Guy loses girl, guy finds girl, guy rescues girl. Boom. If obviously, if I just tell it like that, if the movie was just like that, it's a boring movie. No one's gonna pay to see it. What makes it interesting is bringing people along for the journey, making them feel something, making moments of it feeling relatable. And I think that's what content is too. I live a normal life, and I'm bringing you along the journey while sharing my perspectives, sharing moments of failure, moments of success, and everything in between. I think movies do that really well because they're able to take really simple plots and kind of create this world and universe of perspectives and ideas that get people sucked in, right? So I don't know. I would say like for this person in particular, they want to they I don't know. I always say just like live your life as you would. Film it. Film figure. I would say live your life as you would. Find moments where you can speak to your audience and share your raw perspectives and your ideas. And that will carry I think that'll carry the content the most. I think a lot of movies and music are all pretty similar. Like, sure, the plots are a little different, but like in general, they follow a very simple story structure. I think what makes it interesting is the personality of the actors, the voices, um, and then the way they bring you into the story. Like if you just look at all action movies are like the same. Person needs help. Other person becomes strong and is able to save that person, and that's like literally every action movie ever. But what makes it different is the personality of those characters, the character development, and being able to see life through their lens for that brief moment. I think creating content is so similar. Like I am not the only one creating content and documenting their life. Um, Everyone can do that. Everyone can turn their camera and do that. Um, but I think being open, sharing your perspective, bringing you along, that's where it gets a little bit tough. I think that's where it's hard to be vulnerable, especially if you care about what other people think, and if you're hyper self-aware to that, which I was and still am sometimes in that area, which can sometimes create this like analysis paralysis moment. But after realizing that that most people just I think most people don't care as much as you think they would, and even if they did, they're gonna forget about it too. They're gonna forget about it, and that moment that they do care is so insignificant to the like years and years and years and years and years of life that you're going to live. So, take this video for example. I I was gonna have a busy week ahead with this travel that I'm on right now, and then also work. I didn't realize how busy it was gonna get though. Like I knew it was busy, but I didn't know it was gonna be as busy as it became. Because otherwise I should have filmed the video earlier, uh, but you know I didn't, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take the L, just not upload and break my streak of uploading every week in 2025. But I was thinking to myself, you know, like, oh, the video's not gonna be up to the quality, up to the standard that I'm looking for. Um, it's, you know, I want to be able to um, ensure that the quality is good. But then I was just thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? I think it's okay to have one like those videos where it's just more raw. I think also consistency is more important too than um, making sure it's like top tier. Because also what I think is good quality, like you might not even care, or um, it might not even really affect the video, right? So that's just all me talking and going run around circles in my head. But so here I am talking to you about this comment that I got on my channel, and I think you know this could be perceived as a boring video, but here I am creating this video telling you about this story, and hopefully it inspires action, so that you know if you feel comfortable, you can document your life. My life, most of the time that I'm not filming myself, is pretty boring. I would say, like it's not boring, but it's not as it's out to be. It's not cinematic per se. Um, but don't get me wrong, life is great. Life is good. I'm very thankful. I'm very grateful. But just know that the way that my content is being presented and others as well, it's obviously there's a lot of like editing. There's a lot of uh, yeah, just editing, and I think that's gonna make it seem a little bit more interesting than my like raw day to day. Most times I'm working, working out, taking a nap, gaming with my fiance. Um, we recently started playing Fortnite a lot. I don't know. I'm kind of ashamed to say that game's low key pretty addicting. And so we have fun getting dubs, but that's most of our day. That's most of our day to day. You know, we eat obviously, and then we repeat Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. It's mostly the same. So, and I think it's like that for a lot of big creators as well. I mean, obviously they have a little bit more they have more opportunities to do, I guess, exciting stuff. But at some point, some of the exciting stuff that they're doing, I do think it becomes for content versus just living their life and documenting it. Um, but you know, until we get to that point, we have to continue telling our story, continue sharing our perspectives, and bring our personality into these videos. I think that's really important, is bringing your personality. If you just talk to the camera and if you sound like everybody else, then obviously that's not going to make for a interesting video. So be interesting, be curious, infuse your video with your personality. And I know it's tough to do that sometimes, especially like talking to a camera. And one like really simple trick that I have for that is, you know, don't pretend you're speaking to a crowd, because what you're going to say is going to be more general. Imagine you're speaking to a friend. I know you've probably heard this, but imagine you're speaking to a friend, or imagine you're on a FaceTime call even, and just speaking that way, right? And even right now, as I'm talking to the camera, I do have somebody in mind that I'm talking to, and that helps me be able to kind of come up with what I want to say and how I want to say it. And I think it creates a more conversational tone as well, because sometimes because obviously we have those moments where like when you're talking with this person, it's a little bit harder to get your words out. But when you talk with your close friend or whoever that might be, you can just rattle off hours on end. And so that tip helps, and then also just obviously practicing. That's a big one. Just staying consistent. Sorry, I got something in my. But y'all, I think that's the video. I've got to run to brunch, but I wanted to come on here and share that comment that I got. Shout out to my fiance for the idea, because I saw the comment and see, I didn't know that it could be worthy of a video idea, but my fiance suggested, hey, why don't you talk about that? So here I am. So I hope that can give you a little bit of clarity, give you a little bit of, I guess, light at the tunnel, that you don't need to live an insane life to be able to capture great content. And again, I just think that like all content, all movies, all blah blah blah, it's all to me the same. I think what makes it different is just really how you infuse your personality, your perspectives, your ideas into those works of art. Just really quick example, like, and this might come off dumb if you're a car person, but like if you're not a car person, I think all cars are just like, at the end of the day, they're just the same. It's like 4 wheels, steering wheel. It gets you from A to B. Yes, there's technological differences between some of them, but at the end of the day, we can only all drive 60 miles per hour or wherever. Like at the end of the day, we can only drive the speed limit, right? But what makes one person choose one car versus the other is not necessarily that. It's the personality of that brand. It's what that brand stands for. It's what the brand makes them feel as well. I know that's an oversimplification, but I would say that that's how I kind of view content. And so anytime that you feel like you got to do something crazy, just remember that, like, actually, not really. Like, yes, it has to be interesting, of course. You got to find those perspectives, and that takes time. It doesn't just come to you right away. Sometimes it does, but you can't always rely on that. You have to be able to identify those opportunities for when a story is good. But hopefully that relieves and reduces some of the stress that you might feel like when you think you need something so grand. It could be just as simple as you sharing your perspective. All right, I'm gonna close out this video before I start to yap and deviate off the video. But just to recap, if everything I just said did not make sense, here's everything you need to know. Your life does not need to be interesting, because it already is. Your life is already interesting. You just need to identify those opportunities that are already happening in your day-to-day. Find those angles to tell those unique stories. Maybe you started going to the gym. That might sound like just, whatever, I'm going to the gym. But you can make that something bigger. This could be the day one of me starting, day one of me, like 60-day transformation. Or like thinking around concepts like that. You can make it interesting. You can make the boringest thing interesting. There's content about everything. So I really don't think you need to live a crazy life. I think you just need to live the life you're living, but find different angles. I think that's it. All right, I'm done yapping. Your boy's got to eat. He worked out this morning with 1 apple in his stomach, and that was not good. So we need to do better. We're gonna go. We're gonna go eat some good food too. So I wish you could come, but it's probably a little bit of a drive for y'all. So, anywho, I'm out of here. See ya. Peace.